Coors Light, Whiskey Roundtable, Cafe, Whiskey Roundtable.
Welcome, everybody. This is a Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts,
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Douglas Dunbar.
Ralph Angelori, Sidecar.
All right.
Woo-woo! Sidecar in the house.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
How's everyone doing today?
Well, we're doing
Corona-free.
Corona-free.
And I want to declare that I am
Corona-free
virus-free as
All right.
far as you know.
I have toilet paper for sale.
Ralph is Corona-free, too. He just has an STD, but we won't talk about that. What about you, Zach Delicious? No, he's over
busy
there.
producing.
He's busy producing. Leave him alone.
He's doing his thing.
That's all right. You put your earbuds back on. Do it.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard to avoid the topic, but it is crazy. The world has just gone totally mad lately.
It is absolutely nuts.
Business. Yep. I'm predicting, you heard it here first, that in historical perspective will show that there was a vast overreaction to this.
Correct.
No.
I'm sure that if anybody suffers a loss due to this virus, that you can't minimize that.
Right.
But in the time since this virus hit, I think officially it was in December of last year, still more people worldwide have died due to the typical type A and B influenza than from this virus. So, everybody needs to put things in perspective, keep it calm, and drink whiskey because viruses do not like alcohol. It destroys their, it actually breaks them apart and destroys their outer shell, and they die. So,
No competition.
I feel healthy.
A little of this keeps the throat healthy, and so again, another opportunity to promote whiskey and all of its benefits.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, my kids will hear this and go, "See, Dad?"
I told ya. It's for medicinal purposes, yeah.
That's what they've been telling me all along. I've been telling them all along too, so now they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Is this where I say whiskey also helps anal itch? Is it?
Oh.
Only when you're scooting.
Only when I'm scooting like the dog.
You use it for your benefits. Everyone else can use
right.
it to their benefit, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, while all the world is canceling everything under the sun, as you've noticed, the Whiskey Roundtable is still carrying on for all your benefit.
We have decided here at the Whiskey Roundtable, since the coronavirus is outside in the driveway trying to get into the house, that we lock ourselves in the basement, do a stupid radio podcast show, and drink heavily. So that's where we're at today.
Somebody's got to do it.
Right.
We don't have much product either. That's the bad part.
That's the whole.
It may last us another
30 years.
All I know is I'm really ticked off that baseball season has been postponed.
That is true.
Can't stand it.
Yeah, that is hard to take. I was okay with just about everything else.
Yeah, NBA. Psh,
Yeah, who cares about the NBA?
If it's in the great outdoors, man. We just anyway.
Anyway, we're still going down. We are still going downtown for opening day, which is the 26th of March. We're still going downtown, and we're gonna party like it's opening day. And
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if we could have got our money back on our hotel. So I mean, who knows? But I'd rather just do it. I mean, I know Derek and Jenny are. We've done things with them for home opener for years. The last 2 years, we couldn't do it, but we're gonna have a good time.
Well, hi to Shauna and Kayla, vacationing down in Cancun
enjoying the weather.
Yeah, Shauna, I didn't make you any popcorn, just so you know.
But my daughters agreed to take my place down there and enjoy the sun and fun. So I do hope they have a good time.
Isn't it amazing how kids can do that? They just kind of sneak right in.
Well, she's been working hard. We have her new song on the intro.
Yeah, we do. We have her new song on the intro.
Which is cool.
She's got a hell of a voice.
And she's got a good job, good situation. They're pretty flexible. And
they just had the tornado down there last week, and I reached out to her.
My girls were just at the club
right before that happened.
Like within 20 minutes of that tornado hitting and going right through there, they had just left and were on their way home. So thank God for that.
No, right. I agree.
So yeah.
Good stuff. All good stuff. Everybody was safe, at least on their end. I know that some people, unfortunately, didn't have that same thing, but you know, it's always sad when things like that happen. But
Yeah. Definitely.
so anyway,
So-
listen.
On a lighter note,
Good.
what are you smoking?
I am smoking a CEO Brasilia Maduro
Brasilia.
cigar. Very good cigar.
It's awfully dark.
Thank you. It's because the lighting is dim. But anyway, it's a good cigar. And Ralphie, what are you smoking? You were smoking a Rocky Patel.
Rocky Patel 1990 vintage, which is one of my favorite cigars.
1992 or 1996?
1990.
Oh, 1990. I had it wrong. I
And the
apologize.
92 is the black label, 96 is the white label. Very good cigars.
Right?
This one's a little bit mild. I'd say mild, very,
Plus
very
it's a box
small.
press.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Very
Nice.
smooth.
Sookie. So cigars, when they say like 1990, is that they're not aged since 1990?
Tobacco is aged.
Oh,
correct.
okay. So that
Yeah,
tobacco
we ain't
in that
playing with this
cigar
one.
is
No,
from
this one-
1990.
This one's as old as
So that-
my underwear.
So probably
Oh, well, hey, at least he's wearing it this week.
it looked like it had holes in
And
it.
I can't
but,
count that high. That means it's only 3 years old, right?
That's it. 3 years old. That's good, Ralph. You count well. You are stupid.
I tell you what, my
You know
my drink
the
today-
stripes in your shirt are going the wrong way.
Yeah, I was like,
That's for tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, too funny. You know, you just threw me. I had something to say. I can't remember what
Something
the heck I
about
was
the
gonna
cigar
say.
aging, the tobacco.
Oh, so the cigar aging tobacco, probably not as much as whiskey, if you will, but you know, they actually have on all your all your tobacco farms, if you will, where they rotate tobacco for deciding whether it's going to be Connecticut, medium body or full body. So that's kind of a cool process. You know, I'm not going to talk about cigars because that's not what we're here for today. But anybody that's big into cigars should look into that. It's kind of a cool process on how they age cigars, cigar tobacco, if you will, how they get their fillers and do all their different stuff, their binders. It's really, really very educational, cool thing. So any of you cigar smokers out there, check it out. It's great. Absolutely
We
great.
should have, I'm sorry, Doug, we should have Dave on the show
I would love to have Dave on
one
the show.
night and have
so,
him kind of, we'll dedicate a show to cigars and
Right.
cigar rolling and
Right, that
how
would
about
be
Even-
pairing?
how about who?
Pairing cigars,
cigars
with,
with bourbon. Absolutely.
with bourbon.
What-
That's a
you
great
know,
idea,
so-
Ralph. You're done for the year now.
Amen.
I'm done.
All right, Ralph, go back to sleep.
What's the date today? we're in December.
March 13th, Friday the 13th.
Friday the
Oh
13th.
yeah, you know what?
Oh,
Port
happy
Dover.
Friday the 13th,
Canada,
everybody.
Port Dover, Friday the 13th
Yeah.
party. Didn't make it.
See how they
They're
are?
still having it.
Oh.
Canada's still
We
having
can be
parties.
there before midnight.
That's a. You go to.
Oh wait, where they?
Erie,
just
Pennsylvania.
over-
Go straight across the lake.
Right. I would say right across the board.
Great times.
Yeah, I always think of Toronto for whatever reason. So I'm like, well, that's like a 6-7 hour ride. But anyway, don't want to do that again.
Thanks again to Ray and Ron with
Mm.
Ray on Cognac for last
So
week.
I-
That was
We
fantastic.
still have it on the table.
So
right
I was
now. You can
going
see that.
to revisit that, and you just kind of took the words out of my mouth. But guys, Rayon Cognac, this stuff is unbelievable. Everybody, and I do mean everybody, should have this
Take that to
on
the
their
camera
person
again.
on their
honey,
personal
so see
bar. Everybody should have this on their personal bar.
it. Nice.
Every hotel should have this. Every restaurant should have this. Every cruise ship should have this.
Where's it out of?
This is out of France.
Where are they at?
Cognac. But
These
they're-
guys
They're
are out of
local.
Cleveland.
They're local.
Local Cleveland.
Local
These
Cleveland
guys are
guys
local Cleveland guys.
that have the
10-year process.
that have the rights to sell in the U.S. and it's a fantastic product. And I'm just going to say, if you like whiskey and you're an appreciator of fine whiskey, you're going to love this. And if you're not familiar with cognac, which I admittedly wasn't all that familiar with it, it's going to be a really big surprise.
It really will be. So, if anybody, oh shoot, I was looking for the website for those guys.
Oh,
I had it.
Here,
I
I
had it.
have that. I can
have
go
it.
right to that, and I can give that to you.
I
Just
had
give
it.
me
Oh, here it
one
is.
second.
I found it.
Okay.
Okay. www.lowimportsllc.com.
That's LOWE.
LOWE imports with an S, LLC. A lot of people, you kind of cringe about the price, but I'm telling you, it's all of $170. In my personal opinion, it definitely drinks like a $200 bottle. It's fantastic. Everybody I've ever let have a drink of this has been blown away. You know, it's a 10-year age or more. It's an XO. It's a great product. You guys have to try it. And it's a new product, so you know you're not going to walk in somewhere and find it. I know that they were talking about Florida and New Jersey and New York and all these places that they're starting to put it on the shelf. And you know, they talked about the different things with Hennessy and everything else. This is it doesn't drink like a cognac, but it is so refreshing, and it's not real sweet, and it does drink more like a bourbon than it does anything else. But it's a great product. It really,
And they say
really
the
is.
best way to drink it is drink it
At room temperature.
room
At
temperature.
Drink it like
And
you would
neat.
drink a whiskey right out of a Glencairn glass. That's
Yeah.
what I recommend. I mean,
Got a lot of flavor.
it's
It's good. Smells great.
It's good. Actually,
Yes.
I was going to later before after we do our green spot. I thought about popping that thing open again and having a little taste.
we might do that.
No
I think
complaints here.
I think we should do that.
But it is March and it is Irish Whiskey Month officially, and we haven't
Amen.
done an Irish whiskey yet until tonight, so that's
Now-
where we're heading.
And now they're canceling all the parades.
I know.
No,
Everything.
even the Cleveland Indians home opener, which we've done for years. For years.
So
I've
have
done
it at
home
home.
opener.
Get it and have
Right.
it at home.
This is why we're locked in the basement tonight.
Yep.
So
They
we're
can't
gonna.
It's gonna get messy when we
Can't
have to go to the
cancel
bathroom.
our fun, that's for sure.
Well, I know next weekend, as we spoke about, not Friday, not the show, but the day after the show, it's going to be, I think, more of a Scotch night than anything. That's why I was asking if you guys get a chance to come out, come on out. So we'll do
Schedule
that.
permitting, we'll make that.
So I'm not doing corned beef. I'm going to do hot dogs. But anyway, nobody will know the difference.
It's an Italian St.
Just
Patrick's
kidding. Just kidding.
If it's Italian, there's cocktail wieners.
cocktail.
Ralph will be first in line.
Exactly. Whatever it
Right.
takes.
All right, come on. Let's get back to the show. Let's
All
get
right,
back to the product.
so
Let's
let's
do it.
talk whiskey. What are we doing?
What are we doing? Do you want me to give you a little background
There we
Sure.
go.
on
Sure.
the green spot?
So we're
Okay.
tasting Bushmills Green Spot?
Bushmills.
No.
Like, wait a
Where-
minute.
where did you
I
come up with
heard
that?
nothing about Bushmills Green Spot. You threw me
Well,
there.
tell us what we're doing.
We are doing Green Spot Irish whiskey.
All right.
This started out in the 1800s, actually 1805. Mitchell and Sons, they were a bakery in Dublin, Ireland, and they were famous for their teas and their confectionaries, their cakes. They were so well known, they earned the title the confectioner to Her Majesty, the Queen.
Ah,
Oh.
So, very well known. They started to expand. First, they got into wine importing.
okay.
And then in 1887, they broke into their whiskey market. And they used their wine casks that they had been using as when they were doing the imports for the wine
All right.
to actually mature the pot still Irish whiskey. So Ireland being, close, they when they broke in 1887, they would go to Jameson's distillery and actually get their product, and they would bring it back, and they would empty it into their wine and their sherry and their port casks, and they would stay there and they would age in their wine barrels. So how Green Spot got its name eventually, when the barrels were stored, they used to mark them with a little spot
I bet you it's green.
well, one of them was.
Well, one of them was.
A little spot of paint.
Ah.
So that color would identify how long that the whiskey would stay in the barrel to mature.
Aged, right.
So there was a blue, which was aged for 7 years, a green, which was it's 10 years, a yellow for 12, and a red for 15. The yellow and the green are out now.
Mhm.
The red was discontinued for about 50 years, but they brought it back in 2018. So that is now on the shelves. The blue is not on the shelves, but according to the
It went away.
yes, according to the Green Spot website, there are rumors that it may come back, but they would not divulge
Age or any of that.
no, well, they wouldn't divulge if it was a true or false rumor. So they basically just said, well, let's just wait and see
Those
what
damn
happens.
Irish. Jeez.
Well, they're all about luck, and they don't want to like spoil the hint and
And
then
jinx
have
it.
some bad luck. So we're looking forward to hopefully the blue coming back out. 1976, it was taken over by Irish distillers. They actually helped the Mitchells get back on their feet because they were starting to run out of their supply of whiskey and almost were going to have to give it up. And the Irish distillers started selling directly to the Mitchell brothers, who started Green Spot, versus the whiskey bonders. So this is where I'm going to need your guys' help. What are whiskey bonders? Just people that like black market the bourbon? Does anyone?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I was trying to do
Yeah, I
some
don't-
research. So
Yeah.
if anyone knows
Anybody
what
out
whiskey
there,
bonders are,
Drop us a line
what
at the
are-
whiskey roundtable at gmail.com.
Hey.
So anyway,
We know what kind of bonded means in
Right.
terms of
Right.
bourbon.
As
Right.
far as, right.
So I imagine it's probably something like
Something to
that.
do that. Yeah. Very
yeah.
well.
So anyway, thankfully for Irish distillers stepping in and making sure that Green Spot didn't go away and become extinct. So that's about all I have.
I have had this is the first time I've had Green Spot in probably 3 years. I've also had Yellow Spot with Joe, and I was, in my personal opinion, I think Joe would agree with it if he's watching the show. It was too much. It was almost undrinkable.
What do you mean
And
too much?
The
Too
flavor
harsh?
wasn't there. The spice was over the. It almost drank like a Knob Creek.
Oh, hot.
Extremely. I couldn't. I tasted a little bit of it, and I couldn't even drink it. Joe couldn't drink it either. I have seen years ago. I did see Red Spot on the shelf at Wine Reserve years ago, but I didn't know what it was, and I didn't indulge. And then the Yellow Spot was on the shelf as well, along with the Green Spot. And Steve is the one that turned me on to the Green Spot. My brother Steven in Texas, and that's why it's on the shelf. And Joe enjoyed it as well. It drinks very nice. It really does drink.
Yellow's how
very
many
nice.
years?
I don't remember.
Yellow, here, let me
Was
go
it
check my notes. Yellow, 12 years.
12 years.
The
So
green
12
is
years
10.
is 12 years is
12 years was
Out of control.
was.
Huh.
I mean, I'm sure there's a million people out there that like that kind of drink. There's a lot of people that love Knob Creek. Knob Creek, it drinks very hot, very spicy, but it's kind of tailored to the old style original whiskeys back in the day. I get it, but it's just not my palate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Knob Creek is terrible, or I'm not saying that Yellow Spot is terrible either. It's just not what I like. I like smoother, enjoyable stuff. I mean, I don't want to drink something and spend the next 20 minutes with my stomach on fire. I just don't like that kind of stuff. But
Excuse me, where's the
yeah,
bathroom?
excuse me, where's the bathroom? Way over there, huh? So
we have toilet paper. Don't worry
we
about
do
it.
have toilet paper. We do. So
Bought some more today.
but Green Spot is a very enjoyable drink if you're going to compare it to Yellow Spot. I've never had Red Spot. I have seen it. I've never bought it. The Green Spot is around $50 to $60 a bottle. So, and that bottle's been sitting on the shelf for, probably 4 or 5 years. So, we're gonna try it today.
All right, good.
It's Irish month, right?
Yep, I want to try it.
All right.
Someone's
Yes,
got to
it
party
is.
with the Irish. I'm
Anybody
always
bring the
for it.
Coca-Cola? Just checking.
Ginger ale.
I hear the Whiskey Wizard has a good story about that.
Yeah,
coming up.
sure it does.
Oh, thank you.
Got it? Okay.
Oh, okay.
You got that?
You got the nose
miss
and
it.
everything? Everybody got the
they
nose?
forgot
We're
about
good.
you?
We got that stuff. Now, very,
Yeah, it smells
of course, typical in Irish whiskey, very soft in color,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Nice pale yellow that we would expect.
I don't know. I'm so used to drinking Irish whiskey once a year on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, but you shoot it, you never get a chance
Yeah,
to
I'm
drink
like,
it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
never
used to.
taste
That's
it.
different.
I want to shoot this thing so bad.
That's different.
So I got the
We're also Jack Daniels boy, so from way back, so he's gonna jump in. Go ahead, Karen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt.
you're cool.
The legs are very consistent. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I said on St. Patty's Day. Your legs are just
Oh,
oh,
for the
wow.
love of Pete. Okay, so on the nose,
Sorry, I was off track here.
on the nose it says hints of peppermint, malt, sweet barley, sugary porridge, creamy vanilla.
What the hell's porridge?
It's like oatmeal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
do like Goldilocks and the
Yeah,
Three
yeah.
Bears?
Did you learn anything?
Who the hell spells porridge?
He's from Buffalo. And
Porridge?
just kidding, all you Buffalo people. Creamy vanilla, papaya, and citrus. On
Yeah,
the nose.
I'm definitely getting tropical fruit.
I'm getting Cancun.
Yeah.
This is what copper still, right? Is that right?
Of course,
Pot still.
Pot
Pot
still.
still. I'm sorry,
Pot still, yeah. So,
Single pot still.
I said it wrong.
but it is copper. You're right.
It is copper.
Very soft, delicate.
Yeah.
Little bit of definitely some oak in there and some.
I get the oak. I get the vanilla.
I get that. I want to shoot it.
I do get some fruit in there.
I
You
get
want-
definitely an Irish, I don't know what it is for me on the nose, just a definite Irish scent to
Yeah.
it. The Irish
There's-
scents
Well,
are very
you know,
familiar to me.
We have always said for all the beginner whiskey and bourbon people that if you want to really learn a palate, Irish whiskey is the best route to go. Irish whiskeys will never let you down. I think they're all very consistent products.
It's probably it's
You know,
probably good whiskey to start with if you're just getting introduced to whiskeys. Period. Right. It's a
I
good
agree.
play. It's a good
Good starter.
beginners.
I need a little grass.
Not that
I think you need a
Not that
Guinness.
it's not a serious whiskey.
Uh-huh.
I just mean it's a good because it's soft and still has all the complexity and all those other qualities. It's a good place to start for.
I get the fruit. I get the vanilla. I get the
Yeah.
oak. But I get a little grass out of it. I really do.
I definitely get some of the tropical fruits.
I'm gonna go in, kids.
Okay.
Okay, so on the palate, it's spicy and soft, a gentle bourbon oak, green woods, menthol, and potpourri.
I get the menthol. Wow, is that nice?
Yeah, it's much different than the nose.
Yes,
isn't
it is.
I
It's
never,
really,
I never
really
tasted
nice.
Irish whiskey until tonight.
Well, taste.
Well, you thought
taste.
Jack
That's
Daniels
the
was
key
an
word.
Irish whiskey, so
Wasn't it?
no, it's not.
Come on! 50 years later, you tell me?
I
That
know I
would've
don't mean
made
to
me how old?
disappoint you, sidecar.
Oh, my
Oh
word.
my goodness.
Yeah, I
Very
get
nice.
more like cinnamon, vanilla, a little bit of that grassy earthiness you were
Yeah.
saying. More than I get any of the tropical fruit in the palate. I still get it on the nose, but
You're all gonna laugh at me. I know the audience will probably laugh at me too, but that's okay.
That's okay. We
You-
laugh at
you
you
know,
anyways.
I know, but you know what I taste in there? Believe it or not, is vanilla pudding.
mm-hmm.
Honest to God, I get a little bit of pudding finish. I
Well,
really do.
They said on the nose there was creamy vanilla,
Yeah.
so you might be pulling that
I'd say
maybe
that's
from the
close
nose.
enough. Yeah.
I had to shoot mine to make sure that it was up to the quality that I would normally drink on St. Patty's Day. I gotta tell you, it's a lot smoother than, and
It's good.
I'm not kicking it
I
up
don't-
like I
I don't
usually
get
do after
any-
a couple beers.
I don't get any.
50 maybe.
I don't get any heat out of it at all. Are you still awake?
Yeah, I was like,
Right? He had one
I'm,
good
I'm,
idea.
try,
now
I'm
he's
trying
on
to
a roll.
reminisce back to those days.
Killing me.
So here on the finish, it does say it's a creamy long finish with vanilla.
There
so
you go,
there you
kid.
go.
Yeah, I get a little
you go.
green. I call green apple
I like it. I could shoot.
or
I mean,
pear
I
could
kind
drink
of
that.
on the finish.
It's nice. It's very nice.
That is really, really good. I
That's
like
a
this.
that's a very nice whiskey.
And you said this is about $50 a bottle?
Yeah, it's $50 a bottle for
Now,
sure.
is it hard to find? I know sometimes we've been out, you see it, you
I
don't
s-
see it, it's hit or miss.
I see it a lot. You know, is it always available? No, but a lot of products are not always available.
Sure.
Is it readily available, so to say? Yeah, I think if you went to the liquor store 5 times, you'd see it on the shelf 3 of the 5. That's just my personal opinion. I do see it. I know that a couple of the liquor stores I do business with, they seem to have it regularly when I go in there. This is my 3rd bottle that I've had, so
It's smooth.
it is.
I mean, for
very
$50,
smooth.
I'm like,
it drinks
would
like
just be about
$49 worth.
$49. I would do it. 50.
I think it's well worth the $50. I really do. I
Well,
think it's
like
good.
Ray said last week, bring your penny.
Bring your penny. What do you think, Zach? Delicious?
It's good.
Isn't it good?
And you guys might laugh at me, but I was getting that porridge on the nose all day long.
There you go.
Damn Irish.
Yeah,
I like when we get those kind of confirmations.
it's awesome. All right, I'm gonna finish mine up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is really, really good.
This is something I could drink, sip on all night.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Man,
Yeah.
look at the legs, man. I mean, I just have legs like great. Look at that. Look at that spiral. Look at that.
Yeah.
That
Mine-
is
mine was really
unbelievable.
Why don't you?
I don't think the
take
camera.
that so
I don't think the camera will catch it.
You don't think?
No, it
probably
is.
Not.
It's literally like a candy cane
Yeah.
leg. Did you see that?
I know.
That is cool as
I
heck,
wonder if
man.
that's like a take back to their bakery
And
confectionery.
when you look at
days.
it, you just wouldn't expect it to have those kind of legs. Would you?
I mean,
No.
I literally had
Yeah.
barbershop legs.
She
in
got
there, man. It
legs
was
and she
cool.
knows how to use them.
Oh, please
Is
don't
that a
sing.
song?
Who
No.
sings that?
On
Let them sing
St.
it.
Patrick's Day.
Let them sing it.
St. Patrick's.
Oh boy.
Very nice.
Good
my.
stuff. Awesome.
So I think next week we might do Whiskey Wizard might talk about Irish whiskey.
Hmm.
So
You think we should jump into the Whiskey Wizard today?
You can jump. We ready to see
Is
what
that
the whiskey
time?
wizard has to
Let's
say?
do it. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right, let's
off
cue
to the
this,
Whiskey Wizard.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes, kids.
cue this up, and we'll be right back.
All right.
See you Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. Well, I assume that this also applies to the making of cognac, which is the topic of this edition. Yeah, I know it's a whiskey show. Hello, and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. My wife recently asked if I could do a bourbon tasting for some willing dinner guests. Of course, I agreed. To me, for those of us who truly appreciate whiskey, we have an obligation to display our enthusiasm and educate others whenever the opportunity presents itself. It's been my experience that when you first educate people about whiskey, it makes an advanced impact upon their experiences when things progress to the nosing and tasting phase. And take a moment to explain the methods and concepts about nosing and then ultimately tasting their whiskey. And let them know that these are methods that regular whiskey fans found useful, but that there are no rules, and that they get to decide ultimately what works for them. Sometimes people steer away from it because they sense that there is a snobbery factor about it, and that they fear they'll make some embarrassing mistake. Although, I did once have a guest pour a tumbler half full of $200 single malt scotch, and then proceed to fill the other half with ginger ale. Sometimes you just have to walk away. Grains or used bourbon barrel stave, these do a lot to elevate their experience and enhance their learning. I talk about the mash, distillation, aging processes without too much detail, focusing more on the overall concepts. And the next time we get together, this latest group wants me to do a single malt Scottish whiskey tasting. Sure thing. What else could I say? It's my duty. Slanja. This is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard for the Whiskey Roundtable, and now back to the live show.
All right, Whiskey Wizard, huh?
Okay. Yeah,
Awesome.
we gotta be good ambassadors.
All right.
I love the outfit at the end. That was.
Yeah,
Great.
that-
I have the whole kilt.
Did you wear that for prom?
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask, because Ralph
Switched-
wants to borrow that, by
I
the way.
switched the old tuxedo for that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my
So.
date was really surprised.
Too funny.
You know how the Italians always help out the Irish during St. Patty's Day. I'm the ambassador from the Italian side of the world to help them out.
Awesome.
See, I started when I went to the Whiskey Wizard. We had so much fun with Ray last week.
We did.
I started redoing the Rayon Whiskey Wizard.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
I thought we were
Things
going to redo
happen.
that, but
Things happen. It's no,
I was ready to watch that one again
Yeah.
too. so.
nobody died. Nobody got the corona. It's all good. Things happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a
Okay.
little. I need
No,
a drink.
just
Hold
kidding.
on a second here.
No, so what do you? That was
So
interesting. You had a crowd there for a tasting.
Yeah, my wife said at dinner party said, "Hey, would you mind doing a tasting?" So I always jump at those opportunities because, again, I like to promote whiskey appreciation, and that was a crowd that really, I would say, was pretty much at the never had it, really never thought about it that much kind of level. So,
Right.
and I think by the end of the evening, I think we had some real fans, both in terms of wanting to be more involved in whiskey, learn more about it, continue that experience and that journey, and then also interested in checking out our show at the same time and continuing to learn more. So,
Did you ever think about side jobbing the Whiskey Wizard? Do like home visits and stuff?
well, I don't know.
I'll do a home visit, cut some
think
grass.
it's already
get the hell
out.
out of-
I think it's already occupying
Wash your car.
enough of my
Enough of
available
your
time.
time?
Yeah, I think I'll keep it as it is in support of this show. I think that's good enough for now.
So
You
it's-
shortchanged the crowd. You didn't wear your
That's
Whiskey
it.
Wizard hat. What's
For-
up with
for-
that?
I was on in the beginning.
Well, no. When you were doing the tasting,
Oh no, I didn't. During the dinner party, I did not wear the Whiskey Wizard.
no, it wasn't dinner party attire.
Yeah. But I did wear my whiskey T-shirt. But
That's what I'm talking
Yes, and it
about.
was wild turkey.
yeah.
High five.
Yeah. The turkey, man.
Too funny. Too
So
funny.
I
anyway,
digress.
it's always fun. It's always fun to do that, educate, and
Amen. Amen. So what's next? You guys want to do some news?
yeah, what's going on?
You got something?
I'll start it. Well,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's in keeping with Irish Whiskey Month here on the Whiskey Roundtable, Redbreast is coming out with their oldest ever permanent expression at 27 years.
Ooh.
So that goes along with their 12, 15, and 21-year-old offerings. So 27 years. I think this retails at somewhere around $200 a bottle. So
Wow.
it's pretty
What do we
dear.
drink?
But so Greg, let me ask, how many bottles do you have?
So I have a 12. I think I have a 15 as well.
So the
So-
27 is
27 is
maybe something we can
we can think about maybe over the summer or something.
look for. We can
Because
be looking for
how
that.
much is it a bottle?
About $200 according to
Oh,
retail
okay.
from what I saw. So
Well, if I see it, I'll buy it. So I
that
don't
would
think- that's
that'd be
that-
interesting.
Hey,
I
you
wonder
know,
if I saw that last week.
really, you let me know.
Which one?
They were out of everything.
Well, if
All
they
the
saw you
high-end
coming,
stuff.
they probably locked all the doors.
They actually took me in and just.
I bet they did.
I saw a lot. I was looking for cognacs, and there, somewhere there are thousands.
You know,
That drinks for that
yeah,
price.
so that's where
That's
I
another story.
go. So you go back. I'm sorry, kids. We were talking back to cognac. I absolutely love this product. I really, really love this product. It's a great product. And I've had some of the other brands as well. I'm not into the sweetness. I'm not into that. This is something you want to talk about an after dinner drink. This is perfect. It's perfect.
I can't, with a cigar
Oh.
or
Even with dessert.
A little bit of dark chocolate, you name it.
Oh.
I mean, it's a good compliment. It's
It really
fantastic.
It really is good stuff.
Because I had my
Love it.
phone with you, I was telling you certain names, but there wasn't anything that real common.
And this
Yeah.
is a higher age product as well.
Yeah, and
So-
well, when the whiskey side of it, we didn't have any bourbons that were Eagle Rare. We had, you know,
Right,
we're
right,
getting
we
a
had-
lot of store picks that have been very good.
Yeah, you did grab a lot of store picks. That was
Store picks have
fantastic.
been great.
A-
I mean,
amen.
we're drinking. Yeah, they've been fantastic. Those were been been able to get.
I mean, some of the store picks you brought back, I've never seen anywhere.
Yeah,
So
they've been good.
that's cool stuff. So that makes me happy because you brought back enough that we can drink, and then I have some for the museum as well. So
Museum. Oh my.
Game of
Amen.
whiskey.
Amen. All right, so Peerless. Let's talk about Peerless. Kentucky Peerless Distilling Company and Copper and King's American Brandy.
Really?
Yes, sir. Are collaborating on the release of 2 limited edition expressions. Kentucky Peerless will release a barrel strength single barrel rye whiskey aged in a Copper and King's. I can't even pronounce the last name.
Absinthe.
Elmo.
Where are you at?
I'm right here. Sorry.
Alembic?
Alembic.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Absinthe. Is that
Absinthe.
it?
Absinthe.
Absinthe. Okay. Guys, I'm sorry I don't have my proper glasses on today.
It's not
So-
glasses.
Yeah, it's not the glasses. White Copper and Kings will release a copper pot distilled American brandy aged in Peerless rye whiskey barrels and bottled at 108 proof.
Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about. So,
When is that
So
coming?
I think Peerless
well, let me
also
just go ahead.
has a Copper and King's absinthe barrel finished single barrel rye. I don't know if that was on your list.
I did not. Have
So it
that
looks
on my
like
list.
they're somehow they've
You have?
they've connected into the absinthe underground here and are doing a little experimentation.
I
That
enjoy
sounds
that.
really interesting.
So we have 2 different absinthe, if I will,
Yeah.
different bottles. I don't know if that's something you guys would like to jump into after the
I would
show.
too. Oh,
I have
absolutely.
I have 2 different styles.
We would maybe get a little absinthe minded.
Amen. Amen.
I've been hearing some weird
But
things
open.
about that. Okay.
So there's a whole story. Dave could tell the story better than I can, but it was, I guess, a European drink, and supposedly, I might not have the story right, European drink, and this guy, this doctor, if you will, got all jacked up on it, and he ended up, basically, I'm sorry to say this, killing his family and all this stuff, and it was, I guess it was, they kind of related it to magic mushrooms, if you will. So,
Go
for
ask
all you
Alice.
younger people out there, you probably don't know what magic mushrooms are, but our growing up, we did. So it's a hallucinant. So
Well, it was,
Get
it
outta
was,
here.
It was one of the favored drinks of Vincent van Gogh. So it's also been rumored to
Chop
possibly
his ear.
been associated with the
Chop
ear
his ear.
removal
I was going to
incident.
say,
but-
that's probably why
Ah,
he cut his
sorry,
ear
yeah.
off.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
well,
I
we
got-
don't know.
I knew you could say it better
We
than
don't.
me.
Yeah, we
I
don't
thought it was
necessarily want to
crazy
blame
folk,
absinthe, but it's also been associated with great works of creativity. So we'll just leave it at that.
So
But
they,
interesting that to use that as a finishing barrel for whiskey. That I'm very curious to what kind of flavors you would pick up on something like that.
so I think so. I have 2 different styles, 2 different companies, and I'll have to dig one out. But I have one upstairs, right next to the microwave.
So perhaps that's a future.
That, I mean, I
future share with
hit a little
our-
bit of that before coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's a future episode on the round table.
it could
There you
be.
go.
It could be.
Hey, I had asked earlier what are whiskey bonders, and we did get a response out here from Freezy for
Okay.
550. I can't even speak anymore. Now I'm like, your specialized bonded warehouse. Many pubs.
Yeah, so
also-
it is. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. It's not been taxed yet, right? Until sale.
And then goes on to say many pubs also doubled as bonders, which meant they could supply their patrons with whiskey of which they were assured provenance, and it's similar to American bonded whiskey. Yep. So
Well,
thank
thank
you, Freezy.
very much. Appreciate that.
Very
yeah,
helpful.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, what else do we got?
I got Pinhook.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was that the one with the horse on it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Pinhook Contract distilled the new bourbon at Castle and Key, once known as Old Taylor, to craft their own custom mashville of 75% corn, 10% rye, and 50% malted barley. They blended just 100 barrels of this 34-month bourbon. Interesting.
70 what? 70, 50, and what?
75 corn, 10% rye, and 15% malted barley.
Oh, that's an interesting grain bill.
It is.
Wow.
I gotta
Wow.
pull this out so I can see
I
it.
would probably like that.
They blended this 100 barrels of just 34-month bourbon, so to create their high proof release, which clocks in at 114.5.
I believe
proof.
that.
So we've been drinking Old Granddad 114 today, and if it tastes anything like Old Granddad, I'm in. It will share the same excuse me, kids, Mangetta wax color as last year's cast strength bourbon expression. So that's Pinhook's coming out with it, and that's all I have on that, unfortunately.
You said 100 barrels,
100 barrels.
so that's going to be.
That's not a lot.
200, 2,000,
Commercial
2,000
release,
bottles?
that's pretty
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be.
2,000 plus bottles?
Get your hands on that one.
Yeah.
Woodford Reserve's rolling out its special Kentucky Derby bottle, $50 a liter,
It's coming.
ahead of the big race on May, if it takes place.
Oh, come
Amen.
on.
I think they're going to shut it down till the election. Is what I'm thinking.
No, we're
But-
not done. Yeah. Bullets unveiled at Blender Select number 001. First series of a planned limited edition release. And straight bourbon, $50, available in limited amounts.
We did have Woodford Gray Label. I think I talked to you about that one.
What was that?
I can't remember, but I'll let you know. Woodford's coming out with a lot of stuff, and that was like one that's
They
not
are
out
coming
there.
out with a lot of
It's
stuff.
got a gray
You're
stripe
exactly
on
right.
it, and
Yeah.
I don't know what. I
I
don't remember.
I just saw that. I was looking at alcohol today. They do show it, and there's a
Can't
lot.
remember what it was.
I don't remember either. I don't remember.
Johnny
We passed on it.
Johnny Walker's reintroducing Jane Walker
Oh,
as a new blended malt, and it's instead of just repackaging Johnny Walker Black with a special label, they've actually created a new limited edition whiskey for the Jane Walker at $38 available. It's supposed to be fairly widely available nationwide.
awesome.
Reintroducing, huh?
Yeah.
I've not heard of that before.
No, I haven't either. So when was do you know when the last time they?
I don't know. They've done it before where they just kind of put a new label on Johnny Walker Black. So.
Right.
Dewar's is launching Illegal Smooth, an 8-year-old blended Scotch finish in illegal mezcal casks. So
Illegal, huh?
I don't know what
So,
that means.
so in the future, we have a Dewar 17-year-old that is no longer available, and I think that's something that we may have to revisit when it comes to Scotch on one of the shows. I thought
Twist my arm?
would be
Okay, thank you.
I call it doors. I'm not. Yeah.
yeah. Jimmy Fall's a big Dewar's guy. He likes Dewar's.
Fabio.
Awesome. What else, kids? Anything else?
No, that's about all I have, I think,
All right.
worth. Well, Barrel Bourbon's rolling out Batch 023, available in limited amounts for $90. So
Wow. Yeah,
That's about
some of those higher dollar stuff, until I can try them elsewhere,
Yeah.
I pass up a lot of stuff because I haven't had it. People want to sell their product. That's great, but at the end of the day, I won't say I've been burned, but at the end of the day, some of the dollar stuff doesn't drink like what I like to drink. So
yeah.
just that's it. So all right, well, what do you think, kids?
What else do we got?
That's it.
Oh,
That's all
by
I
the
got.
way, I've been on a new diet. It's all
A
whiskey.
nude?
All whiskey.
All whiskey diet.
Ah.
I've been on it just a week now, and I've already lost 3 days.
But boom.
I like that.
That must make me 3 years old.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I've been doing that for a lot of years. I'm like 4 years old, 3 years.
That explains
Anyway,
a lot,
I think
Ralph.
that's all we got, right?
All right, that's it. Let's call it a day, kids.
All right, let's
All
call
right,
it.
appreciate it. Hey, thanks for listening,
Yeah.
kids. We'll see you guys next week. Another round of the Whiskey Roundtable. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch up with you next week. Drink
Stay
responsibly.
safe out there.
I am
Yep.
your host, Big G.
Karen
Remember
Helen
you-
Collar.
Douglas Dunbar.
Sidecar.
All right, have a
All
good
right.
night.
Be safe,
Enjoy.
Universal
everyone.
precautions, everybody.
Amen.
Yep, stay safe.
Got your love. Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Bean would be cut off. Hank Williams songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped, oh. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee.